Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Testimonies from Kingdom First. We've come to the end of Kingdom First Year 2, so we've been walking with a group of dear people who have gone through 2 years of Kingdom First, and we're sharing some of the testimonies of what God has done. It is one of the highlights of the year, isn't it, Louise?
Absolutely. The best session, definitely.
Totally the best session, because you kind of hear some of the internal journey as well. Not saying we'd do that with you, Corbus, but you do hear some of that internal journey that actually sometimes you've not heard before until this moment, and that's quite moving. But yeah, Corbus, it's been great journey with you. So you were on year one with us. That was quite different for you than year two, wasn't it? Do you want to just share the differences?
Yeah, year one for me was, I suppose it was a year of um, restoration, a year of healing, a year of getting back to grips with God. I've just come out of a very long, very tough situation. And I think year one for me was just healing from, there was some physical healing, but it was mostly about spiritual healing, but also mental healing for me. So yes.
Yeah. And just one example to pull out from that is how many hours a night you were sleeping until the moment we prayed and God did something, and then how many
Yeah.
hours a night you were sleeping after that.
Well, yeah. Before I came on Kingdom First, I was probably managing 3 to 5 hours of sleep of a week. Um,
And that
and
was in
while
your,
I
that was all like on your kitchen chair, wasn't it?
and I sat on my kitchen chair and I literally just sat because I was so broken.
Yeah.
And then after saying no to Kingdom First many times, um, both to Rob and to I think Louise, and I came on Kingdom First and I experienced healing, spiritual healing, mental healing. I had healing in my hip from an accident in 2022, and all of a sudden I started sleeping not quite like a baby because they wake up during the night, but I started sleeping right through. So, so yeah, there was a huge transformation for me.
Yeah. And actually, from memory, that was in one night because we prayed for a particular situation that had um, bedeviled you.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and the week after, you couldn't even remember what that was. It was like,
Oh, that's true. Yes. I have a very,
how
very
you hadn't
grounding.
realized that you were sleeping like a baby, Corbus. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a really rough time, shall I say?
So year two was so this is I mean, this in itself is a real testimony that year one was healing. Year
Yeah,
two, as you've said, is and you're about to say, was all about growth. But I mean,
very
that's a great
much.
testimony that actually the healing was done, has
Yeah,
been done,
yeah.
and you've moved on. You're not carrying the baggage still, like lots of people do without Jesus. They just carry the
Mm.
baggage on and on and on, don't they?
Yeah. For me to come on King on year two means that I have done a lot of forgiving um, of the people that or the person that was involved on my other on the other end in the other end. But I think also forgiving myself, um, but also starting to move on with life and trusting God more and more, knowing that my life is not, I'm not here for my own pleasure. I'm here for His pleasure. I'm here for His doing. And whatever He wants to do through me, that's great. Um, and I've got a few examples of that which God has worked through me. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Um, I mean, one of those areas is, I mean, you're in the CMA, Christian Motorcyclists Association
Yeah.
ministry. I mean, our perception is that's been transformed in terms of your ability, confidence in witnessing, sharing your faith.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. One of the things that happened with me in the CMA is I went into a pub after being thrown out of another one, not because of bad stuff, but purely because they didn't want us there. And we walked into the second pub, and I met a guy who ultimately um, gave his life to Christ because God gave me the confidence to, yeah, absolutely, just to witness about Christ and what He has done for us, um, and not. I don't want to say don't care what other people think, but I didn't really. It didn't matter to me that I stood in the middle of a pub and everybody could hear me,
Yeah,
um, because to me, to witness for Him is far greater and far more important than not doing it and then losing out on a great experience. And I think that's it was that's caused me to also at the men's breakfast to speak to a guy that came in and said, "So what do you think about a certain subject?" And I said, "Well, it's not really about the subject. It's more about are you a Christian? Do you believe in God? Have you accepted Jesus as your savior?" Um, so yeah, so I have become more bold. I have become more trusting. Um, and I think Kingdom First has enabled me to do that. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I was there. So I thought, yeah, gosh, she's being bold, direct. But and I confess because when you first joined the church, and you were part of CMA, and I think you shared a little bit about the ministry, the
Yeah.
witnessing, and honestly, um, I would say your witnessing, your description of your witnessing then compared to your witnessing now, I mean, there is simply no comparison.
No,
Didn't feel like witnessing to me what you described before. You know, very
yeah,
diffident and let me say wishy-washy.
yeah,
Not what you are now.
yeah, yeah. I have a lot more confidence in God, knowing that it doesn't matter what we go through, um, He will be with us. And
Yeah.
it's like I think John 1 verse no Joshua 1 verse 9 just sticks into my head, and especially the first line. It says, "Have I not commanded you?" And I always just remember that one line, and everything else follows. You know, God said He will be with us. He will go with us in front, and He will have our backs and our fronts and our sides and the tops and the bottoms.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Amazing, Corbus. I think we were speaking to somebody earlier about how our expectations of how God will use us, and yours have definitely grown. It's been good to watch, and I'm slightly jealous as well.
I won't say to you what somebody said to me on Sunday in church because that might open up doors that I'm not quite quite ready for. But I think I'm looking forward to um, to this year's CMA ministry, and I'm looking forward to what God is going to do because He's done some great things in the past, and that
Yes.
with a broken man. I'm hoping that now that I'm not so broken, that I will stay humble, but that I will witness even more for Him. So yes,
We can't let you go without just riffing on the confidence that you had because you had a friend who had a horrific injury in
yeah,
South Africa. Do you
yeah.
want to just tell us what happened, what the injury was, how it occurred, and then, what transpired?
Yeah. So a friend of mine in South Africa has been suffering from fainting, and the last time she fainted, she fell and she hit on her chin on the bed, and that damaged her neck muscles
So she,
to severity.
so she fell forwards.
She fell forwards like that,
Yeah,
up
wow.
like that.
Oh,
Um, the whole shock of it has damaged her neck to such a degree that the doctor said she might never walk again. That happened on the Saturday. Yeah, that happened on the Saturday. On the Sunday, a friend and myself prayed for her when we found out about it, and we went to visit another friend, well, a mutual friend, and we prayed for her, and she said, well, she has some news, and she opened up her mobile phone, and she said, look, she's walking, and then just a day later, God used the prayer that we said, 12,000 miles away, and this lady is now in a recovery ward. The latest is she's in a recovery ward. They found out what's the problem with her, and they are now going to treat the injury and the cause. But in the meantime, we will not stop praying for her.
Yeah.
Because I believe God is far greater, and He will heal her 100%, just like He did one of the people at the CMA, one of the rallies, who was healed of a heart aneurysm. A year later, he walked around like nothing's happened.
Wow.
So yeah, I believe God is amazing.
Absolutely, Kobus. Thank you so much for sharing. I feel like we need to write across this video to be continued, because I know there's a lot more to come. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kobus.